Katie Price says there's no rift. The tabloids say the opposite. Princess has landed her own ITV2 documentary. Her management team is in place, the cameras are rolling, and suddenly Mum wants in. But instead of a celebration, we're left with a storm of accusations, denials, and endless drama. So here's the question everyone is whispering. Is Katie Price actually a narcissist? And if she is, what does that mean for her relationship with her daughter? Before we dive in, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell. If you love fearless celeb deep dives that cut through the noise, you're in the right place. We drop new videos every single day, so stay with us. Now let's get into it. We're not here to hand out medical labels. We're not psychiatrists. But we are here to look at patterns, the behavior, the reactions, the choices. And when you look at Katie Price and her relationship with Princess, the patterns jump out, loud and clear. At first, it looks like pride. It looks like a mother who wants to celebrate her daughter's success. But scratch the surface, and it starts to feel like competition. Let's rewind. When kids are small, some mums treat their daughters like little mirrors. You're my mini-me. You're my best friend. You're my proof that I'm doing great. At first, it looks harmless. The selfies, the public praise, the matching outfits. But here's the twist. As the daughter grows up, she stops being a mirror. She becomes her own person. And if the mother is someone who constantly needs the spotlight to feel important, that's where the tension begins. Princess signs with a management team. Not just any team, but the one linked to her dad, Peter Andre. She lands her own ITV2 docuseries, The Princess Diaries. And instead of standing back and saying, "That's my girl," Katie goes on her podcast and says she's upset. She says she wasn't welcome on set. She claims she offered to film for free for 3 whole days and was turned down. She insists people around her daughter don't like her. She says she wasn't asked to approve contracts. She reminds everyone she's had 30 years in the industry and therefore should have been included. On paper, it looks like a mum wanting to help. But when you step back, it feels like a tug of war for control. Who gets to stand next to Princess on the big day? Who shapes the narrative? Who decides what the cameras capture? If you've followed Katie's career, this pattern is impossible to miss. Every story, no matter who it starts with, ends up becoming a story about Katie. Katie often calls Princess her best friend. It sounds sweet, but to many people it signals blurred boundaries. Best friends are equals. A mother and daughter are not equals. A mother is supposed to protect, to guide, and sometimes to step aside. If your daughter lands a TV show, the focus should be on her, not on you fighting to grab a cameo. Katie says she wasn't invited to shoots, that people didn't want her there. But think about it. TV crews love drama. They thrive on tension. If they still chose to keep her away, that speaks volumes. Maybe it was about safeguarding a young star from chaos. Maybe it was about keeping the show clean, free of headlines that might overshadow it. Whatever the reason, the message was clear. Princess needed her own space. Then came Princess's 18th birthday, a milestone moment. The cameras were there, the friends were there, but Katie wasn't. Reports said she didn't appear at all. Was it scheduling? Was it politics? Or was it yet another example of, if I can't be at the center, I won't be there at all? Fans read it as a message, and not a supportive one. Katie says she wasn't asked to read Princess's contract, but Princess is now an adult. She has her own team, her father, and her lawyers. That's how it works. Adult daughters make adult choices. Yet Katie's reaction was, "I should have been in the room. I should have had the final say. I know best." To the public, it doesn't sound like guidance. It sounds like control. And of course, she pulls out the old card. I've been in the industry for 30 years. But let's be honest. What does that history actually show? Multiple bankruptcies, court cases, endless feuds, public meltdowns. Yes, she's been famous for decades. But is that the best training ground for guiding a teenager into show business? If anything, Princess might be better off forging her own path, free from the chaos that has defined her mother's career. Here's the pattern fans see again and again. When a daughter is small, she's treated like a golden child. Cute pictures, glowing interviews, the whole act. But once she grows up, becomes beautiful, confident, and independent, she stops being an accessory and starts being competition. And that's when the claws come out. Suddenly, there are digs. Suddenly, there are long speeches about loyalty. Suddenly, it's all about hurt feelings. Every milestone turns into a monologue about how much it upsets Mom, not about how proud she is of her daughter. That's why the Princess Diaries matter so much. It's a line in the sand. Princess is stepping forward as herself, not just as Katie Price's daughter. Her name is becoming a brand in its own right. Polished, Gen Z savvy, less chaos, more discipline. And let's be honest, brands love that. Viewers love that. For Princess, this could be the start of a sustainable career, but only if she's given the space to grow without being pulled back into the old circus. And that's where management comes in. Katie says the manager doesn't like her. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But here's the reality. Managers aren't hired to like parents. They're hired to protect the client. And if they believe the parent brings chaos, they'll put up walls. That's not cruelty, that's protection. And frankly, for a young woman building a clean professional brand, those walls might be exactly what she needs. Fans also point to Katie's long history with Harvey. Over the years, she has shared intimate, sometimes controversial content about him online, pictures in bed, personal details about his challenges. Many argued she put attention above privacy. That history makes people nervous when it comes to Princess. They don't want the same mistakes repeated. They want her to have her own space, free from exploitation. So let's boil it down to 3 clear signs that make fans suspicious. 1. The constant hunger for the spotlight. When your child's success makes you fight to be on camera too, that's not pride, that's appetite. 2. The refusal to respect boundaries. If your daughter says no mom on set and you push anyway, that's intrusion, not guidance. 3. The endless focus on your own feelings. If every milestone becomes about how hurt you are, that's not support. That's self-obsession. And look, being the daughter of a tabloid hurricane is not easy. Princess grew up in the headlines, often without a choice. She learned early how fame works. She knows the risks and the rewards. So is Katie Price a narcissist? We're not here to diagnose. But when every story bends back to her, when every moment is about her feelings, when every boundary feels like a personal attack, fans can't help but ask the question. And right now, it looks like Princess is trying to fly, while the turbulence isn't coming from the industry, it's coming from home. So what do you think? Is Katie Price just a mom who feels left out, or is this the latest proof of her need to control everything around her? Should she step aside and let Princess have her moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. And don't forget to hit subscribe, because we'll be following this story closely, and you won't want to miss what comes next.